Hey, how's it going everybody? Josh here with Desert Gardens Homestead. I wanted to bring you out to the garden today. I'm going to be starting a really neat project, and it involves Hugelkultur. If you're not familiar, Hugelkultur is a German technique. It involves hill or mound culture, hence the name Hugelkultur. And it works really well in arid conditions, in very dry conditions where the wood can soak up any excess moisture and hang on to it and wick it back into the soil whenever it starts to dry out. And so it is a technique that I have used quite frequently here on the property with great success. And so now I just want to take that principle and combine it with a raised bed concept. And so I'm going to be doing a raised bed hugel mound. And so let me bring you in and show you what I'm working with. Here are the bricks that I've got. They were actually in a separate location underneath an African sumac, but it never really did well as far as growth. I think the African sumacs are allelopathic, and so they don't allow anything to grow underneath of them or nearby them within a sizable area. So I've just really never had success planting anything around the African sumacs. So I decided to relocate this out here by the grape arbor, the greenhouse. And so I've got a total, I think there were 20 bricks, so 10 per row. There's going to be 2 rows, and I think they're about 5 inches a piece, and so it'll be 10 inches high. And so I've got the aged mesquite here, which is definitely quite a few years old. It'll be perfect to put down into the ground. And I've got some smaller, this is purple tree colored, and so this is just some older dead stalks that will break down rather quickly and just start with the water retention. That's my main purpose. Also found a drip irrigation line here, so I'll be tapping into the poly tube and making a drip irrigation outlet on this as well. So it will be irrigated, and I've outlined just with some sticks. This will be the general area. I'm going to dig down about a foot or two, bury the wood, and then I'll amend it with some biochar, some manures, some compost, and just some really good potting soil. I have these marked out at 2 feet intervals with just sticks. So I'm just going to outline the circle. This will be the inner diameter. Okay, well, I've almost got it dug out. I just wanted to point out that this is a very easy hole to dig here in this native soil. As you can see, I've got some prior evidence of some hardpan, some caliche, if you can see that white. And so that just goes to show the power of mulching ground. If it was, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have had to dig out just a little bit, fill this up with water, allow that to soak in, make mud, and continually re-dig out the hole slowly but surely. But now, after 4 or 5 years of having mulch on, I was able to dig right through that hard pan and into the native soil, and I could just keep going deeper. So there is a very beneficial reason to have mulch. It's just having mulch down just continually builds the soil, brings that life into the soil, and it helps to break down this hard pan and just creates a home for microbiology to live within the soil. So just wanted to point that out. All right, looks like I have it dug out. Before I want to start putting the logs in the hole, I think I just want to amend the bottom soil itself. So I'm just going to throw in some biochar. Let me get one more. Alright, so I've got the majority of the standard size logs in. I just want to start using some of this smaller diameter stuff and fill in some of these interior holes and gaps. Okay, now that I've got some of the larger and smaller diameter logs and branches in there, I'm going to go ahead and throw some of the native soil back in here just to fill in some of the lower gaps. Go ahead and wet it as well, just to make sure I've got it all the way down. My main concern is just making sure I get it all to settle. I don't want any air pockets within the hole itself. So I'm just making sure that by the time I go to mix the topsoil with the native soil, all this bottom layer with the wood and native clay will all just be nice and settled and packed in. And I'm just going to allow this to go ahead and settle and drain. It's taking a little bit to drain, so I'm just going to get ready and put the first layer of block down. Alright, well, the ring has fully drained at this point in time, and so what I think I'm going to do is just go ahead and add some of the smaller sticks that I still have there from the purple tree collared stems, and maybe just line this base of this hole up just a little bit more with some of these sticks, and then from there I'll go ahead and create a nice potting soil mix to fill up the remainder. I still have one more set of blocks to put on, and I also still need to run the drip irrigation, which I think I'll probably do the drip irrigation next, get that situated, and then from there I'll go ahead and fill up this with the twigs and then the garden soil and top it off with some mulch, and I think I'll be in good shape. I'm going to be installing the drip irrigation. Here is the soil mix I'll be using. I've got some manure, some compost, some potting soil, and some biochar. I have just a little bit of the native clay mixed in here as well, but not a lot. Since it is a raised bed, I have primarily the potting mix and the compost and biochar. So this is going to be a really nice nutritious mix and will complement the planting hole. So I'll go ahead and get it put in. Go ahead and put a little bit of the Starbucks coffee grounds. This is some of my alfalfa droppings with goat manure and biochar mulch. And that is how we Hugelkultur a raised bed. And so I have it all mulched back down. I have the emitter for the drip irrigation in place. I have it fully mulched and it is ready for spring planting. And so this will be a very drought tolerant raised bed. As the years go by, the bed will become more and more fertile and more drought tolerant. And so it is going to be fun to watch this guy get planted. I'll probably plant some watermelon in it. We'll see how it goes, but it will settle some. So I will be ready to top the bed back off once it settles down a bit. But that is start to finish how to make a Hugelkultur raised bed. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I surely appreciate you stopping in and checking out this video and checking out the channel. This is Josh with Desert Gardens Homestead. And I hope you have a great day today. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.